Hey, how you doing there again, folks? Me again, of course, Brandon Wenzel. Come back at you, another offering off my sampler platter. Yes, hey folks, sometime for you serious videos I've been doing for a while. I go over there, try out food and drink items. I eat stuff, I drink stuff, and folks, I'm gonna talk about stuff. I'm gonna let you know all that you need to know about hopefully delicious stuff. That time I'm doing this, folks, I'm not gonna lie. My neck is so stiff right now, it is ridiculous. But anyway, it's a super simple format, folks. I'm going to go over there, I'm going to eat and or drink some stuff. I'm going to yammer on about it whilst I do so, like I said, dealing with a stiff neck at the moment. So, I'm going to be a little bit more head-on, maybe than I am in some of my other videos. I think I'm pretty much head-on anyway, but I'm definitely going to be today. It's like, I could be doing a lot of that. That's not fun. My neck is sore. Whilst I'm doing all that, I'm inside my truck. Whilst I'm inside my truck, I'm wearing grody work clothes. Typically, when those two things coincide, that means that I was on my way home from work. I found some shit to review for you. That is definitely the case today. So, folks, what am I reviewing? What are we doing? By the way, don't worry about the neck thing. It's just stiff, because I went over there, I hurt my shoulder at work, and as a result, I had to kind of sleep funny, and it was just a position that my body was not used to being in. So when I woke up, my neck was just like, oh, so I guess we're just never going to move again. And I was like, damn you getting older. But anyway, the thing that I'm reviewing for you, folks, is, boom, it's a donut. Ha, 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 ha. But not just any donut. This is a orange Dreamsicle donut from Thornton's. Yes, indeed, the gas station chain. So, I know that I've reviewed at least one of their other donuts. Back in winter, they had one that was mint and chocolate. I love mint and chocolate. So I was like, alright, we'll do that. So they have donuts of the month, right? And typically I'm just not that interested in reviewing them because it's alright, it's a red velvet one. I feel like a lot of people have had a red velvet donut. It needs to be something interesting to me or something tantalizing. And in this case, I was like, orange Dreamsicle works. I don't think I've ever had an orange Dreamsicle donut, and I like an orange Dreamsicle, so it works. An interesting fun fact, just a little behind-the-scenes look at things. When I go over there and I record these videos, I do it all on my phone, and literally what I do is I take a it's like a plastic, little container thing. I can't think of how to describe it off the top of my head, but it's a little plastic container that you put their food items in. I just take that and wedge it into my steering wheel, and then I use that to hold my camera. Been working for years. Let's try a donut. I'm gonna get this part because it's got all the orange on it. Whether or not that makes any difference, who knows? I will soon enough. I'm not gonna lie. That's a pretty tasty donut. That's legit. I didn't know how well they were gonna pull off the orange Dreamsicle flavoring, but they did it really well. And it's not just an orange and cream kind of flavor. It tastes, obviously minus, the frozen aspect of it. It has an orange Dreamsicle taste. It's honestly a pretty damn good facsimile. Even if I didn't know that this was an orange Dreamsicle flavored thing, I'd immediately know what it was. For sure. So, in that regard, they succeeded well above my expectations on that. Because, yeah. You get a nice orange taste. Almost reminds me a little bit of Orange Crush. And then you get just, the nice sort of creaminess. And it's a very deliberate initial separation of the flavors. And then you get the full combination. You get the orange, then you get the cream hit, then you get the blend. I didn't think that, I mean, I wasn't expecting it to be bad or anything, but, like, I have to admit, that is pretty damn good. However, it's good because of the flavoring. The donut itself is not bad. It is, however, for the most part, a generic cake gas station donut. It definitely wasn't freshly made. It was definitely brought. I worked at a gas station for 7 years. Wouldn't recommend it. I worked there for 7 years. I know how this stuff works. Like there's a guy or somebody who comes in with the order. They go over there. Either they take care of it, or in my case, I took care of it. Put the stuff out. And to be fair, it depends on where you get it from. The place I worked at, we changed distributors about 4 or 5 times, I think. At the very least, 3 that I can think of off the top of my head, but I feel like there was at least another one. And it ranged everything from, like, super generic, like, straight out of a factory, human hands have never touched these, to, like, well, no, we actually had a guy who worked at a bakery who we did business with, and he would come in and, give us stuff. That was when things were the best. In this case, this is definitely a factory donut. I don't think this wasn't made by, like, an independent company, which I wouldn't expect for such a big company like Thornton's. I wouldn't expect them to be, going through just like a local service. So the flavoring is really what holds it together. Like I said, the cake donut itself is okay, but with the fact that, first of all, it's not, like I said, it's not freshly prepared. And it's made to be a donut that's going to sit out in a display for a while. And if you've ever had one of those donuts, you know what I'm talking about. But I will say, I got it very early in the day. So, it's still soft. I wouldn't say it's moist. It's fairly dry, but it's a cake donut. I can live with that. So yeah, I mean, if we're talking about the flavor, I'd give that like a solid A-. I think that they did a really good job of emulating the flavor of the Dreamsicle, and it works actually really well as a donut. If I'm talking about the overall of the donut and like the product itself, C-. It's okay, it's passable, but you're probably not going to be doing your parents proud when you bring home your report card. Now, if you go over there and you take those two things, you average it together, boop-a-doop-a-doo, with the power of the Brandon Wenzel brain computer, I don't know, we're going to say that that's like, what, like a B- or a B or some shit? It's okay. It's okay. Now, all that said, 2 questions have to be asked. Would I get it again? Would I recommend it? Yes. And yes. I think overall. Asterisks involved. So, I would get this again. I like this. It's a good donut. And the nice thing is like, I know I'm going to be at a Thornton's. Like, it's a fairly, at least once a week, I probably stop off at a Thornton's to go over there and grab some stuff. I'm not always in the mood for a donut, but if they have, nifty donut like this, it might go over there and be something that might be worth my time. Now, that said, am I going to go there specifically to get the donut? No. There are places that I would. Like, I did a few reviews of a place called The Donut Experiment. I believe it was near the beginning of this year. Go watch those reviews. Those were fresh made, really interesting. I loved them. Yeah, I'm going to go to that place just for their donuts, 100%. This I'm not, but as an add-on. For recommending it to other people, it's just expectation. It's still fundamentally a gas station donut, it's just one that has a nice flavoring to it. But in that regard, I do think that they did a good job with the flavoring. There's not even like a weird chemical taste or anything. So it works overall. It's just, again, you can only go over there and put so many hats on a dead dog. At the end of the day, that's just a dead dog with a pile of hats on it. It's like, it's not going to work, but at the same time, you might go over there and be like, hey, well, he's got some good hats on him. That was a weird analogy. Anyway, 5 things before I get out of here. Have yourself a great rest of your day, spectacular rest week, Monday, Mentors, months, stupendous rest here. Folks, you can go over there and have yourselves a truly Not stiff neck-tastic rest of your life. Dear God. I haven't had a stiff neck like this in a very long time. Like, one of the advantages genetically that I got from my dad was that I went over there and I got a nice big thick neck. And it sucks for shirts. That's for damn sure. And if I ever have to get fitted for anything, they always make comments. But the good thing is that, like, I very rarely ever have neck issues. Like, my neck is fucking sturdy. Downside is when I do, it's like, oh man, it really gets some kinks. Anyway, final two things. Number one, try to bring some positivity in the world. It's not always possible. It is, however, always appreciated. But what you do can't do all the time. I know I can't do it all the time. Here's what you do, folks. You're going to try not to be an asshole. Now, folks, that's not always, the easiest thing to do in the world. Sometimes life is frustrating, stressful. I like to call these asshole-inducing situations. When we run into those situations, it's important we go over there, take a step back, try to mitigate the level of assholishness in our lives, hopefully do better for ourselves and for those around us. Very final thing, folks, do the thing. Whatever the thing is for you, that's what I want you to go out and do. Folks, maybe you're going to go over there. Maybe you're going to be going throughout your life. And maybe every so often you're going to go over there and, you're going to, you have a kink in your neck. And then you hit me up in the comments, Brandon, I got a kink in my neck. I sympathize with you. I'm a nice guy. I got a bunch of neck. So what I'll do is I'll go over there. I'll donate some neck around. I'll go over there and just be like, all right, here's what we'll do. I'll ship a little bit to this person, ship a little bit to this person. That way we can share in the neck experience and hopefully have better, stronger necks for everybody. This is gotta be one of the weirdest scenarios I've come up with. I'm clearly delusional. But anyway, or conversely, we could not go over there and have body mutilation involved in this whole thing. Because I don't need that. I like having my neck. It's mine. I'm going to be selfish with it. Conversely, just take care of your neck, folks. Try to sleep right, all that good stuff. Do the... Oh, wow, that hurt a little bit. But do the whole thing that they used to have you do in gym class when you were a kid. Yeah, bye.